Hey guys, it's Jillian.
And Davis.
And today we're going to be doing part 2 of our rest series. So we'll be talking about Sabbath. I'm going to let Davis take over the majority of this video and let him do his thing and nerd out about it. So Davis, what is Sabbath?
All right, we're going to do our nerding out as painlessly as possible. So Sabbath. Like we said last video, Sabbath is first introduced to us in Genesis 1 and 2. So think back for a moment with me. In Genesis 1, we get the creation account. So day 1, God creates light, he declares it good, so on and so forth through day 6. You tracking with me? Mm-hmm. Day 7, the author of Genesis records for us that God rested on the 7th day, and he blessed the 7th day, and he made it holy. Here's the interesting thing, if you're into this kind of stuff, is that the English word there, rested, is translated from the Hebrew word Shabbat. Okay, so that's where we get our English word Sabbath. But Shabbat is translated ceasing, means to cease, right? But it also means to celebrate. So Sabbath or Shabbat has the idea of ceasing and celebrating. It's not just resting and doing nothing. It's ceasing and celebrating. Kind of like how God created something or light or land or the animals, and he declares everything good, right? And then he gets to us and declares us very good. That's another video. Okay, fast forward a significant amount of time. Okay, so that was creation. We're going to fly by Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all of them. So Moses has just led the people of Israel, the Israelites, out of slavery in Egypt. And they are on the foot of Mount Sinai, the foot of Mount Sinai. And God is giving Moses the 10 Commandments, right? You shall have no other gods before me, this, that, and the other. Okay? One of those commandments is the Sabbath command. And God gives Moses the rundown, right? 6 days you shall labor and do your work. And the 7th day is a Sabbath to Yahweh your God, a Shabbat to Yahweh your God. And then he gives his reasoning for it. He says, for in 6 days the Lord your God made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day he rested. Now, that word there in English that's rested is not Shabbat. All right, where he talks about Sabbath, that is Shabbat. That word rested is nuach. God says that he nuached on the 7th day. So what's the difference in nuach and Sabbath? It's very minor, but it is significant. Nuach means to settle in or to settle down. Does that make sense? So where Shabbat would be to stop and to celebrate, nuach is to settle in. So think of a cold day. You start a fire and you sit on your couch, right? And you get kind of cozy, right? You're getting cozy. So God is telling Moses, I worked for 6 days, and then on the 7th day, I got cozy in my creation, kind of. And that might be the best way I know how to explain it. So that's the Sabbath command, the first of 2. But we're not going to cover that one right now. So we got to cease, we got to celebrate, and we got to settle in. To kind of delight might be a good way to think of it. That's how John Mark Comer explains it in his book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, is to delight. Okay? So what exactly does that look like, right? We got this Sabbath command to work for 6 days, and on the 7th day to not work, right? That's what we kind of like to think of it as. You do this, you don't do that. But that's not really how God explains it or how Jesus understood it. So historically, how that looks like in the Jewish community, and I'm by no means an expert on Jewish culture, but this is what I've read, right? Sabbath begins Friday evening and goes through Saturday evening. So Friday at sunset to Saturday at sunset. That's the 24-hour period of rest, of Sabbath. And what that looks like is you start with a meal, right? You invite your friends, you invite your families. The man of the house, the father, is going to pray for his family. He's going to pray for his wife, for his kids. They're going to read psalms. They're going to sing together. They're going to talk about just what God's doing in their lives. Just think of like a fun family gathering that's super lighthearted.
Every week.
Every week, right? Their drinks, if you're into that kind of thing. You know, like it's lighthearted. It's not some somber, uber religious, like this is what we do, this is what we don't do. It's a celebration, right? And then Saturday during the day, it's just a day of rest, a day of play, a day of delighting, a day of worshiping. It's not you do this, you don't do that. So that might look like taking a nap, going for a walk, playing with your kids, your spouse playing a game, whatever. It is supposed to be about ceasing and celebrating and delighting and worshiping, not just about not working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for us now, where we used to be, like last year, Sabbath looks a lot different. Last year, we were both in college, and I only had a Sunday afternoon to really rest. But I took that afternoon, the few hours that I had, to just do what brought me closer to God, what refreshed my soul, what restored my spirit. I would go on walks, spend time outside before I had to do homework or go to meetings or whatever it is. And that's, right now, just do what you can. If you can't take the 24 hours, which is, the goal, just do what you can now. Spending time with your family, doing something that brings you closer to God, that brings you joy. So what words? What did Sabbath look like for you last year?
Yeah, so a year ago I was working in Georgia and working on my master's, and I was working as a graduate assistant for the men's basketball program. So there's not a lot of free time when you're doing that. You got your master's classes and a full-time job that once the season started requires like 60 hours a week, on top of your 20 to 30 hours of schoolwork. So it was a lot. It wasn't always able to dedicate a full 24 hours. But that's the cool thing about Jesus, is that he meets you where you're at. Mm-hmm. That it isn't some rigid burden that you have to carry, right? We're going back to my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Sabbath is about living lightly, mm-hmm. not about one more thing I can't screw up or God's going to be mad at me, right? And that tends to be how I think, tends to be from my conversation with some of my friends, how a lot of people think. Mm-hmm. So what Sabbath might have looked like for me then was, just trying to sleep in as much as I could, getting caught up on sleep, doing something that I enjoyed, whether that was getting a workout in or going for a walk in the park, hanging out with some buddies, like just taking time to decompress and enjoy life and enjoy God and enjoy the blessings that he's given to me.
Mm-hmm. And for us now, we really try to take the full 24 hours and block that time out, get everything we need to get done in those 6 days so that we can take those 24 hours. We like to go paddleboarding, hiking. We like to read, watch movies.
Go to church.
Take a nap. Just whatever refreshes our soul, brings us closer to God, and brings us joy so that we can work from rest and start our week from rest instead of working for it.
Yeah, so just to recap, it's an allotted amount of time. The goal is 24 hours, but Jesus meets you where you are, of taking setting aside the time to cease and to celebrate, to delight, and to worship our Creator and what he's done for us and the blessings that he's given to us. And two really good books that really sparked this for us is The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer and To Hell with the Hustle with Jefferson Bethke. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff and maybe what Sabbath might look like, or just kind of slowing your life down and living more intentionally, those are two really good books that really sparked this conversation for us. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. That just be careful, because as humans, we like to take the beautiful spirit of Sabbath and make it a hard letter, a hard law that you can or you can't do this. Mm-hmm. And when we do that, we totally miss the heart of our Creator, and we totally miss the heart of God behind wanting to give us rest. Mm-hmm.
So we hope y'all have a great week. If y'all have any topic, words, or studies, whatever, that you want us to talk about, you can leave a comment below. You can subscribe to our channel so you'll be notified when we release new videos. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and remember to keep living lightly.